The Queen, no stranger to any of this. She's been to the Vatican several times. This is the fifth Pope that the Queen has met in the course of her long reign. But this looked and felt very different from previous ones. Pope Francis has not a great deal of time for pomp and protocol, and that was all kept to a minimum. So he didn't meet her in the grandeur of the papal palace. Instead, he received her in the much less formal surroundings of the papal study and another room on the other side of St. Peter's Square. Their talks were behind closed doors, entirely private. The fact is, we're just never going to know exactly what they said to one another, but you'd expect them to range across all kinds of matters of faith and world affairs. And some people did wonder if perhaps this outspoken Argentinian Pope might raise the issue of the dispute over the Falkland Islands, but yesterday British diplomats here making very clear that recently and at a very high level the Vatican has made clear that it remains entirely neutral in that difficult dispute.
This is all part of a process of consolidating diplomatic relations. Do you think there'll be an attempt to bring the Catholic and Anglican churches together?
Well, when you see these two leaders of their churches, the Pope, spiritual guide to more than 1 billion Catholics around the world, and the Queen, the head of the Church of England, coming together, their history looms very large in the background. Of course, back in the 16th century, all the trauma of that break from Rome by the Church of England. But the modern story of relations between the British state and the Vatican state, very different, of course. They re-established full diplomatic relations back in 1982, and in the course of the Queen's reign, these several encounters with the Pope have provided the context for the diplomatic development of that relationship, which is really closer and closer in many ways. And at the same time, there is ongoing dialogue between the Anglican world and the Catholic world, and this sort of meeting helps in that process.